Welcome to the Deep Dive. Look, you want the lowdown on Soul Land 2, Episode 100, right? But maybe you don't have hours to watch it or wade through reviews.
Exactly.
So think of this as your shortcut, your fast track to understanding the biggest moments and what they actually mean.
Yeah, and Soul Land 2, the Peerless Tang Sect, it's built this reputation, hasn't it, for like amazing world building, great character arcs. Episode 100 was, well, it was a big one.
Definitely felt like a turning point.
Packed with reveals.
Yeah.
Things that are going to have ripples going forward. So our mission here really is to pull out the key stuff from a pretty detailed review we looked at. Give you the crucial bits, save you the time.
Got it. So we're hitting Huo Yuhao's massive power-up.
Yep.
And a surprise appearance from a certain Soul Land legend.
Oh, yeah.
Plus these new super powerful soul beasts debuting. And what else? A new organization. Spirit Pagoda.
A new character.
That's right. And we'll even touch on the fan reactions.
Yeah.
The buzz around some of the character designs. Okay, cool. Let's dive right in then. Huo Yuhao's transformation. Sounds like he properly leveled up.
Oh, absolutely. The review really emphasizes his jump from Soul King to Soul Emperor. That happened after his training, obviously.
Right. Soul King to Soul Emperor. For anyone maybe less familiar, those are like major tiers, right?
Yeah.
Big power boosts.
Huge milestones, yeah. Marks a real significant increase in spirit power, abilities, the whole package. And while the episode doesn't, explicitly show his soul ring count changing,
Okay.
the main thing is his actual combat ability. It's taken a massive leap.
And it's not just brute force, is it? I saw something about these Hao Dong Three Ultimates, Unankitu, EA.
Yes.
Those.
I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but they translate roughly to something like thinking of Winter Fist, remembrance of Winter Sword, Grand Winter Palm.
Yeah.
Sounds intense.
It is. And what's really interesting, like the review points out, is how they work. It's about channeling emotional energy.
Ah, right. So not just spirit power. Exactly. It mixes spiritual power with, raw emotion. So it's different from traditional skills that just rely on spirit energy. Huo Yuhao's tapping into something deeper.
Which means, what? He's better against mental attacks? Or gets power bursts?
Potentially both, yeah. It makes him maybe more resilient mentally and could lead to these unpredictable surges based on how he's feeling. It adds this whole layer of psychological combat we haven't seen as much.
We see proof of this power jump.
Oh, yeah. Concrete proof. He beats Shu Sanshi, who's also a Soul Emperor, right? In 2 moves.
2 moves. Okay, wow. That's making a statement.
Definitely.
So he's gone from being, a top student to someone who can actually stand toe-to-toe with really seasoned fighters.
Right. The analysis suggests he's now rivaling low-tier soul sages. That's the next major rank up.
Another big jump.
And potentially could even challenge a Soul de Luo if things go his way.
Wow, that's huge for his position, within the Tang Sect at Shrek Academy. He's really stepping up as the leader of that younger generation.
No question.
Okay, speaking of significant figures, Tang San. The review mentioned he pops up. That definitely caught my eye.
It did. And that was definitely a surprise. It's a departure from the novel.
Right. Wasn't in the source material.
Nope. Tang San, the absolute legend from Soul Land 1, he appears in this. The review called it a godly poetic monologue. He's just sort of observing the mortal world.
A godly poetic monologue?
Oh.
Sounds suitably epic for Tang San.
It kind of frames the whole situation, connects the past to the present,
Yeah.
broadens the whole cosmic scale of the story.
Okay, so what divine wisdom was he sharing? What did he talk about?
Well, he basically highlights 3 really key things that are setting the stage for what's coming. Big conflicts.
Okay, like what?
First, the Sun Moon Empire. They've apparently been prepping for continental war for, get this, 4,000 years.
4,000, wow. Okay, long game.
And they're basically ready to kick it off now. Second, because of rising tensions, especially on the borders, the other 3 big nations, who are usually rivals, they're being forced into this fragile alliance. Probably won't last, but for now.
Necessity makes strange bedfellows, huh?
Pretty much. And finally, he delivers this line. Zhao Jiao. Okay, 就是个.
Translation.
Something like, the azure sky's dream pierces the clouds, eternal night breaks at dawn.
Poetic.
And symbolic, I guess.
Very symbolic. It's presented like a prophecy, directly linking Tang San's whole legacy to Huo Yuhao's destiny, specifically in pushing back against the Sun Moon Empire.
So it's like Huo Yuhao's personal journey is now officially tied into this massive, maybe even fated conflict. Okay. That's heavy.
It really elevates the stakes.
Right. Okay, next up in the review, 5 fierce beasts. Their human forms debuted. Sounds like they were a pretty big deal.
Oh, huge deal. This was a major highlight of the episode, apparently. Each one has this really distinct, impressive human look and, of course, terrifying ability.
All right, break them down for us. Who are we talking about? Okay, so first, BG. She appears in this emerald gown, has wings, a swan companion. Her thing is healing mastery. And interestingly, she's Emperor Tian's mate.
Emperor Tian's mate. Okay. Noted. Who's next?
Huo Yuhao. He's got robes with vines, this whole tree-like vibe. Power is plant manipulation. And he's known for being smart, strategic.
Plant manipulator, strategic mind. Got it.
Then there's Qiuer. He's basically a 3-headed canine in human form. Fiery temper, brutal up-close fighter.
Ooh, sounds nasty. Keep going.
Xiangjun. Big, hulking, bear-like guy. Also a master of healing, like BG. And also Emperor Tian's mate.
Wait, also. So Emperor Tian has 2 mates among the fierce beasts.
Seems that way. BG and Xiangjun, both healers, both his mates.
Okay, then. And finally, the man himself, Emperor Tian.
Emperor Tian, yeah. His design really screams physical dominance. He's the top dog, the supreme ruler, guardian of all soul beasts, unmatched combat power. It's made very clear he's a massive threat.
And his look really sells that.
Totally. The review says his design strongly foreshadows a major clash with Shrek Academy down the line. Really makes you think, how powerful are these beasts? How can Shrek possibly stand against that?
Yeah, definitely ups the ante. Raises the stakes considerably. Now, we also got human forms for Tianming Iceworm and the Ice Empress. Those 2 are huge fan favorites, aren't they?
Oh, massively popular. People were waiting for this. Tianming Iceworm, he's shown as silver-haired, got an eye patch.
Okay.
And a lot of fans apparently saw echoes of Oscar from Soul Land 1. You know, that mix of mischief, but also some newfound maturity.
I can see that. And the Ice Empress.
Total transformation. Leather-clad warrior look, icy blue highlights, very elegant, but also, like, lethal. These designs seem to have gone over really well with the fans.
Right.
Overwhelmingly positive, it sounds like.
Nice. Good to have some crowd-pleasing moments mixed in with all the impending doom.
Right. Balance.
So the review also mentioned 2 other major revelations beyond just characters showing up. What were those?
Okay, yeah. First one. We got our first look, just a glimpse, of the Spirit Pagoda.
Spirit Pagoda. Right.
It shows up in the ending montage, and the review stresses, this is going to be really important later, it's tied into Huo Yuhao's whole mission to try and, get humans and soul beasts to coexist better.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
laying groundwork for future plot lines there. And the second revelation.
The debut of a new character, Time Lord Shishing.
Time Lord.
Seriously.
Yeah. He's the governor of Shrek City. He's a Soul Duluo. And his ability, he can manipulate time.
Okay, that's a cool power.
Yeah.
And potentially very broken.
Right. And his introduction strongly suggests he's going to be critical in the next big arc, the Beast Tide arc.
Beast Tide. Sounds ominous.
So yeah, we're seeing key players, key organizations starting to come onto the board, definitely shaping the future story.
Seems like a lot of setup for major conflicts and maybe, hopefully, some interesting solutions down the line. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, was it? The review mentioned some controversy around Huo Yuhao's adult look. Ah, yes, that definitely caused a stir. His new adult redesign, it's been, let's say, divisive among the fans.
Divisive how? What's the issue?
Well, the main complaints seem to be about aesthetics. Some fans feel it's a step back from his younger look.
A downgrade.
Yeah, like it lacks the, youthful charm or the facial harmony. Some mentioned awkward proportions, features looking a bit stiff. And there was also disappointment comparing it to some earlier concept art that had surfaced, which apparently looked, softer, maybe more dynamic. So some people felt the final version felt a bit rushed.
Ouch. Tough crowd.
Yeah.
The animators probably felt like they ran into a fan art ambush there. But there's another perspective, right? The review mentioned a counter argument.
There is. The review does suggest looking at it differently, that maybe the design is meant to show his change, his evolution into a more mature leader.
Ah, so the practical armor, the more commanding sort of presence.
Okay.
That's deliberate.
That's the idea. It visually represents his new responsibilities, his growth. So it really depends how you look at it. Is it less visually appealing to some, or is it an artistic choice showing character development? It definitely brings up how much character design impacts how we see these characters changing.
True. Okay, let's shift to 2 other powerful women who made an impact. Ye Xishui and Wang Qiuer. Their designs sound pretty meaningful, too.
Definitely. Ye Xishui, she is introduced as basically the leader of the Holy Spirit cult.
Okay, the bad guys.
Well, antagonists, certainly. Her design is crimson-clad, described as having this captivating but also dangerous, mature beauty vibe. A Sister Yu type, if you know the term.
Gotcha. And her role.
It's fascinating. She has dual roles. She's the supreme elder of the cult, pulling the strings on their alliance with the Sun Moon Empire, so major political player.
Right.
But she's also the godmother of Zhu Tianran, who is important in the Sun Moon Empire. It's a power move, consolidating her influence.
Wow. Okay, so she's a behind-the-scenes mastermind as well as powerful in her own right. And Wang Qiuer, her redesign sounds symbolic.
Very symbolic.
Yeah.
Wang Qiuer gets this really striking golden armor, and it's not just for looks.
No.
The review makes it clear. The golden armor, plus her golden dragon spear, other dragon motifs in her design, it's all heavy foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing what?
Her tragic sacrifice. She apparently dies saving Huo Yuhao later in the series.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's meant to be this huge, pivotal, emotional moment. And the visuals, the golden armor, it's a direct nod to her golden dragon heritage and ultimately her heroism.
Man, episode 100 really loaded up on the foreshadowing and the plot points, didn't it?
Absolutely packed.
The review also mentioned hitting some common fan questions. What were some of the key answers there?
Yeah, I touched on a few things people were asking, like why Tang San's monologue, basically to expand the world's scope and give that geopolitical background.
Okay, makes sense.
Regarding Huo Yuhao's design debate, it mentioned the possibility, maybe it could be tweaked later based on feedback, citing examples from other shows where that's happened.
Interesting. Anything else?
Confirmed Emperor Tian's power level. He's stronger than even Dragon Dulo Long Xiaoyao. Sets up some potentially insane future fights.
Okay, noted. Emperor Tian, up to your threat.
Also gave a rough timeline for that Beast Tide arc we mentioned. Probably within the next 10-15 episodes following Xixing's debut.
Getting closer then.
Yeah. And it just reiterated the impact of Ye Xishui's design, that powerful, dangerous aura, her key roles, and again, hammered home the significance of Wang Qiuer's golden look, symbolizing her heritage and foreshadowing that sacrifice.
Right. So wrapping things up, episode 100 sounds like a genuine game changer for Soul Land 2.
Absolutely.
We got Huo Yuhao's huge power jump, Tang San showing up like some divine narrator setting a bigger stage. The introduction of these visually amazing and frankly terrifying soul beasts in human form.
Right.
And those first hints of future conflicts, the Smear Pagoda, the Beast Tide coming, plus all the fan chat about the character designs.
It really did manage to blend individual character growth with expanding the whole world's lore, didn't it? While planting seeds for major future events. Very well done, structurally.
So here's a final thought for you listening. Considering everything we've just talked about, Huo Yuhao's power, Tang San's intervention, those fierce beasts, the Spirit Pagoda, the Time Lord, even the design stuff, what single element do you think is going to shake things up the most?
That's a great question.
How do you see it all playing out? Individual power versus divine influence versus these big geopolitical forces versus new factions emerging. It's a lot to juggle.
It really is. And like the review wrapped up saying, with that shadow of the Sun Moon Empire looming larger, well, it looks like we're in for a heck of a ride. Expect alliances, betrayals, epic fights. The whole fate of the Soul Master world seems like it's on the line.
Sounds about right. Well, that's our deep dive into the review of Soul Land 2, episode 100. Hopefully, this gave you all the key takeaways without you needing to spend hours digging for them yourself.
Hope it was helpful.
Until our next exploration.